Straight ahead this morning, a deadly plane crash in South Georgia Saturday. What investigators say went wrong. Plus, making their presence known, what anti-fracking groups are calling for. And it's a bird, it's a plane. Actually, it's both. An annual migration is finishing up in Wakulla County today. Why this year could be its last. And Brittany will let us know if those birds and planes have some clear views in the sky. These stories and much more to come this Sunday.
Live from the WCTV studios, this is the Good Morning Show. Coverage you can count on.
Good morning, I'm Natalie Rubino. Happy Sunday, 8 o'clock right now. We're going to have more on those stories in just a minute. But first, meteorologist Brittany Beatty is here. Brittany, a lot of people are going to be outside today watching those whooping cranes fly by. What kind of weather are we looking at?
Well, picture perfect skies. Now we have some cloudy skies right now throughout the rest of the morning, and you can see a lot of that cloud cover moving through much of Florida and into South Georgia. But as far as rainfall goes, we're in the clear from that for the next couple of days. Rain free through North Florida and South Georgia. Like I mentioned, you can see a few areas of that cloud cover, even a few areas of fog away from these larger cities, especially further to the west. So out in Bainbridge, Georgia, they're down to a 2-mile visibility. Albany at a 7-mile visibility. Everywhere else so far in the clear. But temperatures, depending on where you are, vary a little bit. 48 degrees in Tallahassee. Areas further to the east of Leon County are in the 40s. They have a little bit of that drier air still in place. Further to the west, though, and areas closer to the Panhandle and Panama City, they're in the 50s just due to a little more moisture available out at the surface there. So a little bit of a temperature variation this morning. If you're heading out, generally in our viewing area, we're going to be in the 40s to the low 50s, mostly cloudy skies this morning, and also a few areas of patchy fog out there, but no rain is expected. But we do have higher rain chances in upcoming days. We'll take a full look at the forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Natalie, back to you.
I heard a loud noise. Then I looked and I saw the smoke. I said, oh my God, it crashed.
3 people dead after a plane crash in Albany, Georgia. It reportedly happened at the Southwest Georgia Regional Airport during takeoff. The small aircraft crashed into a ditch and caught fire. The plane attempted to take off at around 2:45 p.m. It crashed at 2:46 p.m. Officials arrived on the scene shortly after.
First and foremost, the most important thing is we've notified the family. They are with a counselor at this time. And we'd ask that the media respect them at this time as they go through this tragedy.
The FAA and NTSB are investigating the cause of the crash. A police chase turns deadly in Georgia. A couple dead and a father and his son behind bars. Megan Packer has more on the suspects' day in court.
One by one, father and son appeared before a judge in Gwinnett County. 18-year-old Jesse Thomas of Tennessee had his arm in a sling after Thursday night's crash that killed 2 people.
Do you have a lawyer?
I have a lawyer in another state, sir.
So do you have a lawyer that is assisting you with these charges?
No, sir.
His father, 47-year-old Larry Thomas, was also read his charges. Bandages were on his hand and arm. He told the judge he's been unemployed for 2 years. Police say Larry Thomas was behind the wheel and his son his passenger when they led a Johns Creek police officer on a 4-mile chase. The officer tried to pull the car over because its taillights were out. It ended tragically in Gwinnett County when Thomas crashed into the car of 77-year-old Krzysztof Krewczynski and his 78-year-old wife Elżbieta of Norcross, who were both killed. They were returning from Elżbieta's birthday dinner.
Just really neat people. They're just fabulous people.
The father and son, now in jail, face drug trafficking and gun charges. Larry Thomas is also charged with 2 counts of vehicular homicide and DUI.
This tragedy was caused by the deliberate actions of Larry Thomas, who refused to stop for a lawful traffic stop.
Some Georgia lawmakers want to overhaul the state's fireworks law since Governor Nathan Deal signed the law last May. Opponents say it allows for blanket use of consumer fireworks without any local control. Some Republican lawmakers, they want to restore some oversight of fireworks to local officials. They hope some places would be allowed to set restrictions if they wanted to. Hundreds gather Saturday in front of the old Capitol to protest fracking in the state of Florida. The protest comes in response to a bill passed in the House that would establish regulations. Eyewitness News reporter Kevin Clark has the story.
No fracking way! No fracking way! There's been outrage from environmentalists after the Florida House passed a bill establishing regulations for oil and gas drilling in the state. The Senate will take up a similar fracking bill.
We demand that the Senate reject 318 and that instead they hear Senate Bill 166, which is a ban on fracking in Florida.
More than 200 gathered at the old Capitol to lobby senators not to pass that bill. Those against fracking cite that drilling chemicals into the ground will contaminate Florida's water. They're also asking, what's the rush?
We know that it is having an impact geologically, the chemicals we're using on all different aspects of the environment, including health. But we need to know a lot more. There's no urgency on this. Gas prices are low. Why do we need to do this now?
More than 60 local communities have passed resolutions that oppose pro-fracking legislation. The House bill originally preempted local communities from banning fracking, but then gave back some local power.
What we have on our side is we have people. We have local electeds, we have lots and lots of citizens across the state of Florida, and in the end, the citizens are the people that put these representatives and senators into office.
The House bill would require the State Department of Environmental Protection to study the impact of fracking, then create those regulations. High school students from around the country compete with each other at Bragg Memorial Stadium. 16 JROTC units participated in the annual Area 7 drill. There was a meet on Saturday. Now, different portions of the competition include color guard, physical fitness, and exhibition drills. The battalion chief says meets like these display the hard work and preparation of the cadets.
The mission is to develop citizens and responsible and informed citizens, really. So we're not really encouraging them to go into the military after high school, but we are trying to instill some important values that they can carry over to their lives after high school.
Along with being a state qualifier, the group hopes to recruit students for their program at the various colleges in Tallahassee. Saturday marked a day of fun and learning for kids in Tallahassee. The Museum of Florida History held its 33rd annual Children's Day. Families were able to explore the museum for free. There was face painting, games, and entertainment. Between all the different exhibits and history at the museum, there was something for everyone to enjoy.
I really like the race cars.
What do you like about them?
Because they go fast, but some don't have boosters.
Local organizations like Mission San Luis and the Mag Lab set up shop in the museum as well. Whooping cranes were expected to land in Wakulla County today. We have just gotten word that their flight has been delayed. The 6 cranes were following a plane flown by Operation Migration volunteers. The destination was St. Mark's National Wildlife Refuge, and they were flying from here, Leon County. Nearly 250 whooping cranes have been released in Wisconsin since 2001. Every year, they make that journey. Now, only 93 are still alive today. This year's migration could be the last after U.S. Fish and Wildlife says it will no longer help fund the flight. So as we said, they were expected to arrive around this time in Wakulla County. Their flight has been delayed. We will be there when they do finally arrive to their final destination at St. Mark's.
Hopefully the fog will clear up for them too.
Yes, I hope so. Okay, so it's 8:09 right now. Coming up, we'll wake you up this morning with our eye-opener trivia question, and will the fog clear up for them?
Well, you know what? We are going to deal with a few areas of patchy fog depending on where you are today, but it's going to quickly burn off by the late morning by 10 a.m. In fact, we're actually going to warm up rather quickly throughout the rest of the day, even into the afternoon, where we could see those 70-degree temperatures again. But that warming trend won't last forever. We'll take a look at just how long those warm temperatures will stick around right after the break.